Most people get this wrong when trying to start a company in Angola. They think it is all about filling out a form, registering a name, and opening a bank account. But that is only the surface. Here's the truth no one tells you. Angola actually has a structured and centralized business registration system. But if you don't follow the exact legal sequence, you can face long delays, rejected applications, and unexpected costs that could have been avoided. And in this video, I'm going to break everything down step by step in a way that is simple, practical, and beginner-friendly. No legal jargon, no confusion, just a clear roadmap you can actually follow. By the end, you will know exactly how to register a company in Angola in 2026. Choose the right legal structure, complete tax registration, open a business bank account, and legally operate without issues. And I'll also show you the mistakes most entrepreneurs make that slow everything down, especially foreign investors. So let's start from the beginning. If you want to start a company in Angola, the first thing you need to understand is that business registration is centralized through the Guichê Único da Empresa, often called the one-stop shop for company creation. This system was designed to simplify the process. Instead of visiting multiple government offices separately, you complete most of the steps in one coordinated system. Now here's where it gets interesting. Even though it is called a one-stop system, it still involves multiple legal stages. And if you don't understand the order, your application can get stuck. So let's go step by step. The first decision you need to make is choosing your legal structure. In Angola, the most common business structures include Sociedade por Quotas, which is similar to a limited liability company, and Sociedade Anônima, which is used for larger corporations. For most entrepreneurs, especially small and medium businesses, Sociedade por Quotas is the best choice. It is simpler, more flexible, and requires lower capital. For example, if Alex wants to start a logistics company in Luanda, he would likely choose Sociedade por Quotas because it allows him to operate efficiently without heavy administrative burden. But here's the problem many people face. They choose a structure based on assumptions or what they saw in another country. That is a mistake. Angola has its own legal requirements, and choosing the wrong structure can affect taxes and compliance later. So always match your structure to your business size and future plans. Now once you have chosen your structure, the next step is company name reservation. This is done through the National Registry System. You submit your proposed company name, and the system checks if it is available. Now here's something important. Many applicants lose time here because they choose names that are already taken or too similar to existing companies. So here is a simple strategy. Always prepare at least 3 name options. Your primary choice, a backup, and a third alternative. This prevents delays if your first option is rejected. Now let's move forward. Once your name is approved, you need to prepare your incorporation documents. These include your articles of association, shareholder information, director details, and registered office address. Now here's where it gets interesting. In Angola, your registered office does not need to be a large commercial building at the beginning. You can use a rented office, co-working space, or even a shared business address, as long as it is legally recognized. For example, John, who is starting a small import business, can register using a co-working space in Luanda instead of leasing a full office building. This helps reduce startup costs significantly. But most delays happen here. People submit incomplete or inconsistent documents. That leads to rejection at the registration stage. So double-check everything before submission. Now, after preparing your documents, the next step is notarization. A notary plays an important role in validating your company documents and ensuring they comply with Angolan commercial law.I. This step is mandatory. Without notarization, your company cannot be legally registered. Now here's an important insight. Notary fees can vary depending on your company structure and capital amount. Many first-time founders underestimate this cost, which leads to budgeting problems later. So always plan for legal fees in advance. After notarization, your file is submitted through the Guichê Único system for official registration. This is where your company becomes legally recognized in Angola. Now here's where patience becomes important. Even though the system is centralized, processing times can still vary depending on document accuracy and workload. If everything is correct, the process is relatively smooth. But if there are errors, your file may be sent back for corrections. And this is where many entrepreneurs lose momentum. They think registration is complete once they submit documents. But in reality, registration is only the first phase. After that, you still need tax registration, statistical registration, and in some cases sector-specific licenses depending on your industry. And in a minute, I'll show you exactly how tax registration works in Angola, so you can avoid the most common delays. Now, let's continue. Once your company is registered, the next step is obtaining your tax identification number. In Angola, this is issued by the tax authority, known as AGT, which stands for Administração Geral Tributária. Without this tax number, your company cannot legally invoice clients or operate in the formal economy. Now here's the problem many entrepreneurs face. They delay tax registration, thinking they can operate informally first. But in Angola, most corporate clients will require tax documentation before doing business with you. So if you are Alex running a consulting firm, or John running a trading business, tax registration should be one of your immediate priorities after incorporation. The process involves submitting your company registration documents, identification details, and business activity description to AGT. Once approved, you receive your tax identification number and become fully recognized for tax purposes. Now let's move to another critical step. Opening a business bank account in Angola.t. This step sounds simple, but it is often one of the most challenging parts of the process. Banks will require your registration certificate, tax number, notarized documents, and proof of business address. They may also require an initial deposit, depending on the bank. Now here's where it gets interesting. Some banks are more startup friendly than others, especially for foreign-owned companies or new businesses. If your documents are unclear, or your business activity is not well explained, banks may delay approval or request additional verification. So the best strategy is to prepare a simple business explanation. What your company does, who your clients are, and how money will flow through the business. Clarity builds trust with banks and speeds up approval. Now let's talk about something many guides ignore. Industry-specific licenses. Not all businesses in Angola require extra permits, but certain sectors do. For example, import-export companies, construction firms, financial services, and food-related businesses may require additional approvals. This is important because many entrepreneurs assume registration alone is enough. It is not. So always check your industry requirements before launching operations. Now let's move into taxation and compliance, because this is where long-term success is determined. In Angola, companies are subject to corporate tax, VAT depending on turnover, and social contributions if employees are hired. But here's the key insight. Most business failures are not caused by registration issues. They are caused by poor compliance after registration. Missing tax filings or failing to update company records can lead to penalties and operational restrictions. So the smart approach is to set up a simple compliance routine from day one, even if your business is small. Now let's talk about timelines. On average, company registration in Angola through the Guichet Unico system can take anywhere from a few days to a couple of weeks, depending on document accuracy and workload. Most delays happen due to missing documents, incorrect information, or banking delays. But if you follow the exact steps we covered, you can significantly reduce processing time. Now let's answer a common question. Can foreigners start a company in Angola? Yes. Foreigners can legally own companies in Angola. There are generally no restrictions on foreign ownership in most sectors. However, they must follow the same registration process, and may face additional verification, depending on the industry. For example, if someone like Jake from the United States wants to open a logistics company in Luanda, he can fully own it. But he must still go through company registration, tax compliance, and banking procedures. Now here's an important advantage. Angola is a resource-rich and strategically located market in southern Africa, making it attractive for trade, energy, logistics, and construction businesses. But here is the final mistake you must avoid. Many people treat registration as the finish line. It is not. It is only the foundation. Real success comes from how you structure operations, manage compliance, and build strong local partnerships. So let's quickly summarize everything. First, choose your legal structure carefully. Second, reserve your company name. Third, prepare and notarize your documents. Fourth, register through the Guichet Unico system. Fifth, obtain your tax identification number from AGT. Sixth, open a business bank account. Seventh, check for industry-specific licenses. And finally, maintain ongoing compliance. If you follow this sequence, you avoid most delays and legal problems. Starting a company in Angola is not as complicated as it seems. The system is structured. The key is following the right order and avoiding small mistakes that cause big delays. Now you have the complete roadmap. If this guide helped you, make sure to like the video, leave a comment with the country you want next, and subscribe for more step-by-step business guides like this. Because the right knowledge, at the right time, can completely change how fast you build your business.